everyone, it's Madison. It's been a while since I filmed a video. School has been very tough and I have had very little time to read or plan any videos, so now this is the weekend I can finally sit down and film a video. I've been planning this video for a very long time. It is a huge book haul. You probably already could tell that from the title though. I am very excited to do this video. So I have 5 categories of books that I'll be showing you all today. I have gift books, ARCs that I've received from Goodreads giveaways, books that I bought, school books for English this year, and then my library books that I currently have checked out. I have almost 30 books to show you all, so I don't really think this needs any preface, so I'm just gonna get straight into it. So the first section of books are books that I was gifted, so this can be from Christmas gifts, my birthday, doing reading challenges for the library. Those are basically all of the things that I have here. I'm going to start off with books that I got for my Christmas last year, and then my birthday, which was actually almost 6 months ago, which that's crazy to think about. So I actually got 2 new books for my birthday and I'm very excited to read all of them. First up is Frostfire by Amanda Hocking. I've talked about this author and the Trill series on my channel before. This author is an amazing author. Her writing style is so unique. I love the stories that she creates. If you don't know, Frostfire is a continuation of the Trill Universe series, or the Trill Trilogy. I don't really like to say Trill Trilogy because that kind of sounds really weird, the alliteration there. Anyways, I'm really excited to read Frostfire and just get back into the world of the Trill. Sounds really interesting and I can't wait to read it. Next is Furyborn by Claire Legrand. I don't really know that much about this series. I think I may have mentioned this before on my channel, but I'm not really sure where. From what I understand, there are 2 queens that we're following throughout the book. One queen is in the present day of the story, and then the other queen's perspective is from 1,000 years in the past. One of the queen's stories is a myth to the other queen, and somehow their stories collide and they impact each other. I'm not really sure how that happens, but I'm really interested to see how it will. These are 2 books that I got for Christmas last year. I know it's been almost 9 months since Christmas, but I haven't really read these books. I haven't really picked them up yet. For Christmas, I specifically asked for Spanish translated books. You probably don't know this about me, but I am almost fluent in Spanish. I've been taking Spanish since 6th grade. I'm still taking it now, and I'm in AT Spanish Language and Culture. And I think I'm ready to read some Spanish books, so that's specifically what I asked for Christmas last year. Starting off, I got Bajo la misma estrella por John Green. If you can tell from the title, this is just the Spanish translation of The Fault in Our Stars. I don't know why I chose to get this book in Spanish, because I've read one of John Green's books before, Looking for Alaska, and that was definitely a heavy-hitting book. So I'm interested to see if I can understand the story and all the sadness in this. The next Spanish book that I got was Marina por Carlos Ruiz Zafón. I'm actually currently reading this book right now, and I have been reading it for probably over the past 6 months. It's taking me a while to get through this book. I've probably read 1 chapter every month. Not really that consistent, but I'm about that far through it right now. I'm at the beginning of chapter 10. It's really good. It's like a murder mystery story set in the Gothic quarters of Barcelona in Spain. I think it's also set at a boarding school, and I'm still pretty much at the beginning of this book, so I don't really know what's happening in the story yet, but it's off to a great start. Now, these are books that I got from completing my summer reading challenge at the library. So every summer my public library has this competition to see how many hours you can read in one summer. For completing the base level of 8 hours read, I got 2 books for free, so that's really nice. The first one is Field Notes on Love by Jennifer E. Smith. I read this one maybe a month ago, maybe a little more. I honestly can't remember right now, but I actually did a review on this book, so if you want to check it out, the link will be up here and in the description. The next book is Words in Deep Blue by Kath Crowley. Okay, someone just called me and I thought I lost all the footage from the past like 5 minutes or something, but luckily I didn't. Anyway, Words in Deep Blue, I don't have any idea what it's about. The cover looks really enticing, and just like look at that. There are books on the cover, so I think it must have something to do with books, maybe a bookstore. I don't really know, but I'm excited to read it. The next section of books are advanced reader copies that I've gotten from Goodreads giveaways. I got 6 ARCs from a Goodreads giveaway and then 1 ARC from a local bookstore. I'll start off with the one book that I got from the bookstore. The reason why I got this book was because I'm part of a teen advisory board there, and with being a part of that also comes the opportunity to read ARCs. This is the only one that I've gotten so far, but it is 3 Things I Know Are True by Betty Coley. This is a novel written in verse. I'm really excited to read this. I love novels written in verse. So I think this book is about where this girl's brother accidentally shoots himself and he's in critical condition, struggling to stay alive, and she has to deal with possibly losing her brother. So this sounds really interesting, definitely a very emotional and sad book. Since it's written in verse, I'll probably love it. Now, these next 6 books are books that I've won from a Goodreads giveaway. The first giveaway that I won was in December 2019, and then since then I won 2 giveaways in January, a giveaway in February, and then 2 giveaways in August. There's a big span of around 6 months where I didn't win any giveaways. If you want to know any tips about winning giveaways, I can make a video on that. Probably won't be too long, but if you're interested in that type of video, then just let me know down below. I'll go in the order that I got these books. First is The Echoes Between Us by Katie McGarry. This was a very sad book. It talks a lot about illnesses, especially cancer, because this main character has a tumor in her brain that causes her to see ghosts. It was a very emotional and sad story. It made me cry. It was really good, and yeah, this was the first ARC that I ever won. It was honestly pretty good. I think I gave this book 4 or 5 stars. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about this because I read it so long ago, I don't really remember everything. This was probably either one of the last books I read in 2019 or one of the first books I read this year. The next book is Jack Kerouac is Dead to Me by Gare Polishner. This is definitely an interesting story about self-discovery in a teen. It's definitely dark as sometimes. I don't know, I just remember loving this book. I don't really want to make this haul into a review, but this is definitely a dark story. Even though the cover may look lively and uplifting, it's actually a really dark story. Next is Only Mostly Devastated by Sophie Gonzalez. At the time that I won the giveaway, it wasn't really anything near to other of the books that I've read before. This is an LGBTQIA+ contemporary romance book. That genre is not normally for me, but I actually like this book. It was pretty good. It is a spin off of Grease. So this book is marketed as Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda meets Clueless in this boy meets boy spin on Grease. I definitely saw all of those elements in this book, and if you're into LGBTQIA+ romances and you like interesting covers like this, then I definitely urge you to pick this up. And the last book that I won in early 2020 was Mayhem by Estelle Lard. This book was probably the weirdest of the ARCs that I received, mainly because it is very paranormal. There's a lot of paranormal aspects, there's magic involved. It's definitely a very interesting story. And now these last 2 ARCs that I won, I actually got a couple weeks ago in the mail, so I'm really excited that I have them here, and I can't wait to start reading them. The first one is The Last Secret You'll Ever Keep by Lori Faria Stolares. I think this author is the same author who wrote Jane Anonymous. I've heard a lot of good things about that book, and this is her next book that is coming out. Let's see, when is it coming out? March 2021, so I have a very early copy here. I'm really excited to start reading it. I don't know that much about it, but just from the title, The Last Secret You'll Ever Keep, sounds like it may have some murder in there. I don't really know, but I'm excited to find out. And the last ARC that I received was Cool for the Summer by Dahlia Adler. So this is actually the bound manuscript of the book. This isn't the finished cover, but if the finished cover looks anything like this little graphic on the bottom, then I'm sure it will be beautiful when it's fully released. And this book is coming out in summer 2021. I'm not really sure what this book is about, but once again, I'm excited to read it. Okay, so now let's move on into the books that I bought in 2020. I haven't bought that many books. I've bought 3 books this year, but I only have 2 with me. The first book that I bought this year is sitting right behind me, right there. It is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. If you don't know this already, this is the 4th book in the Hunger Games trilogy. It tells the story of President Snow and how he becomes this evil person. He is in the Hunger Games universe. I liked it. overall it's a good book. The next book that I bought this year was The Betrothed by Kiera Cass. This is the book that I don't have with me because I lent it to a friend. So I like this book a decent amount. I know that people didn't really like this book, but I thought it was okay. It was an okay story, definitely different from the Selection series, which Kiera Cass also wrote, but I'm interested to see where the series goes. And the last book that I bought this year was actually a couple weeks ago, and it is The Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I'm reading this book for Becca's Bookoplathon in September. It's September now when I'm filming this video, so if you want to check out all the other books that I'm reading in Bookoplathon, you can just click the link right up here. I'm currently reading this book, and I have been for about the past week. Now I am that far through it, so I'm just really excited to keep reading this, and hopefully I can finish it before the weekend's over. Okay, my phone is about to die. It's at 10% right now, so I kind of have to wrap this up real fast. But now I have my school books. That took me a little bit to gather all the school books that I had to read, or that I have to read sometime this year. I'm just going to go through all these books kind of fast because I don't know that much about any of these books, and I'm only currently reading one of them. Sula, The Great Gatsby, The Refugees, The Things They Carried, Hiroshima, and finally A Raisin in the Sun. I am currently reading this book for English class. It is actually not a book, but it's a poem. I like it so far. I really like the way the story is told and how the writing style is. And now the final section is the library books that I have currently checked out. Before today, I actually had 15 or so library books, but I returned some that I wasn't using because I felt like I was just holding on to them, but I had already finished reading them, so I decided to return them to the library and give them to another person to read and enjoy. Okay, oh my god. These are all the library books that I have checked out. Kind of hard to manage this, but I'll work through it. So continuing with the Renegade trilogy, I have Arch Enemies and Supernova. So once I finish Renegades, I can just hop straight into these books. I have no idea how the story will continue, but I trust that because this is Marissa Meyer's writing and this is her series, that it's going to be amazing. Next, I have A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I've talked about this book a lot and how I'm just anticipating reading this series so much because ever since I finished Throne of Glass, I wanted to read this so badly, but I just haven't gotten around to it. So now I have literally the whole series checked out. I have all four, oh, that book was upside down. Oops. Yeah. So that's the fourth book that I got. I have books 1 through 4. Actually, I wouldn't really call A Court of Frost and Starlight the fourth book. It's more like a short story collection. But I think this series is going to evolve into like another trilogy. So there's the main trilogy and then a second trilogy. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna have to read it to find out, but I'm really excited to start it. And then the last book on this haul is, I think, number 29. So I got so close to 30 books in this haul, but this is number 29. It is All Your Twisted Secrets by Diana Urban. I've had this book checked out for probably a little over a month now, so luckily I have gotten it renewed, so it's not overdue or anything. But I honestly don't know when I'll start reading this book again because I actually picked it up the night of August 31st, right before Bookoplathon started. And so I thought if I start this the day before Bookoplathon, I'll probably finish it, you know, because I'm a fast reader and I can probably finish it within a day. But nope, that did not happen. I got through the first 30 pages and fell asleep. Not because this book is boring, but because I just was so tired and I had to go to sleep. But after I finish reading Renegades, I will definitely want to continue on with the Renegade series and then go into A Court of Thorns and Roses, and then I'll finally get to this. Okay, so those are all of the books that I have hauled in 2020, not including the ones that I got from Book Outlet because I already did a haul video on that. If you want to see my Book Outlet video haul, the link is right up here and down in the description, so you can go check that out whenever you want. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. We are so close to 100 subscribers, so I would really appreciate it if you subscribed. Right now, I'm just hoping that I can read a little bit more this month so that I can boost up my Goodreads reading challenge, but also just to read more books. And I hope that once I get into the flow of school more, planning out my day and then sectioning out reading times throughout the day, just so I can read at least 100 pages a day. That's my goal. Who knows if I'll actually do it? I really hope I can. Anyways, that's all I have for today, and I'll see you all in the next video.